My name is Susan Morgan, and I volunteer with the American Red Cross. I do disaster services, and within the framework of disaster services, I'm a co-leader of a DAT team in the city of Detroit and Wayne County and Macomb and Oakland. And I also go out on our national assignments, and we have national disasters. And I do assist sometimes with fundraising and special events. And about a year ago, I became an instructor, so I'm also doing instruction in disaster services and psychological first aid. What attracted me to volunteering with the American Red Cross was that I retired from a 37-year career, and I, believe it or not, I still had a lot of energy. And I said, I want to really do something to give back, because I've been so fortunate in my life to always have a job, and I had a good family and a wonderful husband, and I thought, why am I so lucky? And I guess it's because I was just lucky. And so I thought the best thing to do now is to try and give back. Volunteering with the Red Cross has been much more than what I expected it to be. At first, I joined the DAT, or Disaster Action Team, and I thought, well, I'll be taking some assistance out to people who have had fires in their homes. But I never realized the broad breadth of service that you can provide to this organization, nor did I realize that I could use some of my professional skills in helping out and participating with the American Red Cross. It has been heartwarming, fulfilling, sometimes tragic, and just a wonderful experience overall. I absolutely feel as though I make a big difference in our community by volunteering, not only just for the people that we're helping at the time of some disaster that they're having, but all the people that I come in contact with, friends and family and new acquaintances that I make. I talk about the American Red Cross, I talk about our mission, I talk about our humanitarian and our compassion that we have, and I think I've been able to get people to write some checks because I tell that story. Since I've been volunteering, I've had many, many experiences that are very moving and really touch the heart. My most recent experience came at about 10 o'clock last night, and I'd like to tell you just a little bit about that experience. My partner, Terry, and I received our phone call that there was a fire on the near west side of Detroit, and a family had been burned out of their home. And so we got in the van and we got to the home. And living in the home was the grandfather, who was very ill and on kidney dialysis. Because one thing you learn about disasters is that it's not just the disaster that's affecting the family. The family many times has many problems before the disaster happens. And so the grandfather was on dialysis. The mom and the dad had been jobless for a long time, and they finally got work last June. And since that point in time, they had purchased a refrigerator and a couch, and they had been so excited because they had saved enough money that next week they were going to buy a car. And they had a 2-year-old baby who's absolutely adorable, and it just seemed as though finally this family was going to get it together. In the rear of the house, there was a family room that had a permanent mounted wall heater. And yesterday at 4:42, that wall heater caught on fire, and that house burned to the ground, and this family lost everything. So it was touching and moving for me, because I had a young couple who were crying in the van last night who felt like everything was lost. And our job was to not only move them towards recovery, but to try and get them to understand that as young as they were, there are second chances, and they could really get it together and they could rebuild. Our concern, of course, is the father with the dialysis, and there'll be some follow-up from the Red Cross on that. The advice that I would give advice to people who don't know if they want to volunteer with the Red Cross or not, I would tell them that they should give us a chance, because we have so many volunteer activities. Not everybody has to get into a van in the middle of the night like I do, and I must be crazy for doing it, and run around. You know, we have our blood services, and we have aid to our military. We have a lot of fundraising events. There are many, many things that food distributions, canteening. There's many things that people can do to be a participant in the mission of the American Red Cross?
First.
My name is Susan Morgan. This is my Red Cross story. What will be yours?